Hi, and a very quick update to where I'm at actually with my project this year. Absolutely nowhere. We're now into February, almost gone halfway through February, and I haven't quite found not just the inspiration, but also because I walk my dog every morning for about 5 or 6 miles. I'm pretty knackered. I've had a little bit of back trouble this winter, and getting out again after I've walked the dog for 5 or 6 miles to walk around town, I found quite exhausting when I've tried it. So it's sort of put me off a little bit, and basically it's because the weather's cold, damp and wet. It's been causing me some back issues, so it's sort of prevented me getting out. I do plan on getting out once this week. That isn't enough probably to start my project properly, but we'll give it a go and we'll see. If I do get anything, it'll be on Instagram. I've been putting a few bits and pieces on Instagram lately, and ironically, I was contacted this morning and asked, would I like to be in an exhibition somewhere this year? Isn't that a funny thing? I thought those days were almost behind me. Luckily for me, I have quite a good back catalogue and I've shot quite a lot of projects. So I can go back to a project and think, well, I can do that part and use then 10, 20 images, whatever they want for that exhibition. And that is the beauty of shooting a project. People recognise and see your work from where you've shot a project from. And I can go back to my back catalogue and choose a selection of images, just like, you know, Don McCullum or anyone else can go back to their back catalogue. I'm not comparing myself to them by any means, but they can go back to the stuff they've shot in the past and they can choose 10 to 24 images to go in an exhibition, or 12 images. I can do the same. I'm really lucky, and that's the importance of going out and shooting regularly and having such a great back catalogue. And even though I've had my stroke and it causes me some issues for the future, I've still got hundreds of images from the past, in fact thousands of images. Ironically, when I stopped and I actually stopped shooting, I cleared out a load of the back catalogue, but I kept all the good stuff, or what I would call the good stuff that could go to an exhibition. As anyone knows that knows me, I only regard about 9 or 10 of my images as my favourite images, but I've got a back catalogue that can be used for different purposes. As far as journaling is concerned, to update you on the journaling, I've been using the new Apple Journal app. I use it absolutely every day. Once I've been out for a walk and I've got through my day, I journal things about maybe how my stroke things are getting on, how the dog walk went, what the weather was like. I know it sounds little tiny things, but for instance, my dog's had a little bit of a problem with his leg, and so I can journal when he has those problems. And when I look back and you can do a search, you can see, well, he had the problems on that day, and that day. And then I can decide whether I need to take him to the vet or not. And it's the same with myself. I do make small notes about the health changes in myself. If I've got back pain, when the back pain comes, when it goes. And hopefully over the course of a few years, I'll be, which is what I think anyway, is I think it happens more in the winter, in the cold and the damp, where I get back issues, and I don't usually notice anything in the summer. But by making notes in my journal app, I can go and research that. I haven't really used my leather journals much. I am using this leather journal for doing trees in, and I do a couple of trees a week. I haven't had much inspiration for that over the last few weeks either. It's been an expensive couple of months for me. My camper van's gone in for a service and got hit with a great big bill. And it's that time of year for insurance and everything else. And as we know, everything's been going up. So I haven't really had the headspace for my art, and I haven't really had the headspace for my photography. I have promised myself that I am going to get out once this week and have a go and see what I can come up with. I just thought I'd update you on where I'm at. It's no great steps into the future. If I am doing this exhibition or doing something at this exhibition, I'll let you know. I'll come back to you and let you know, and I'll put something on my Instagram so you can all come along. And I will aim. I'm only going to do it if I can go to it, and I don't know the dates yet. And I book up my holidays but my travel in quite advance. So I know what I'm doing this year and some of next year already. So if these dates combine with something I'm doing and I can't make it, then I just can't make it. So that's a very quick update. The journal app for Apple is absolutely brilliant though. I will just say that. If you haven't got a smartphone, then you can always use Day One. It's just as good. In fact, it's better, except you've got to pay for it, whereas the Apple one's free. But Day One is like industry standard, and I have been sort of using it this year. I've been writing about what I want to do in my photographic project. Obviously, I'm doing two. I'm doing a paper version and a digital version of that. and it's all slowly moving along. But I've got my first lots of travel starting next month. So once I start traveling, I start writing my journals, I start doing my photography. The street photography goes out the window a lot of the time when I travel, because I usually go to places in the countryside and everything else, so that falls to the wayside. But I try to balance it all in, and I'll get there with it. The projects and the project I'm doing this year will come. It's just taking its time, but I'm showing you now just how easy it isn't. So anyone else that started these projects this year, I know Michael Espin has been out and I've seen him shooting, and he had stopped for a while. I know Christian Cross had stopped for a while and he's now still shooting again. It's quite interesting how we all have a bit of a lull in the winter and then we come back. Some people carry on shooting all the time, all year round. Good luck to them. I'm just not really that. I think I like the break in the winter. It gives me more chance to think and decide what I want to shoot, because you can overshoot and just keep shooting junk all the time, where you have to focus sometimes to shoot a project. Anyway, just a quick catch up, and also thank you for all the lovely messages from people and the people that have liked and subscribed to my channel. I don't ask for that, and when I had bigger channels before, I probably did, and I didn't expect many people to follow this, but 67 people have followed this channel over the last couple of months. I don't know why. I don't do any fancy production. I'm sitting here as I am at home without all the fancy background, fancy production and fancy camera stuff. So thank you for those people that do want to watch this. I hope to bring you more stuff over the course of this year, and I'll talk about my journey. I've done nothing. I've filled out my journal. I've filled out some of my paper journals. I've drawn a couple of trees, and that's about it. But hopefully next month things will start picking up, and I'm going to go out and shoot this weekend. And if I have got something, it'll be on Instagram as from probably Sunday onwards. So take care. See you on the next video.